So because fasting is somewhat uncommon today, we thought it might be helpful to give some tips and good practices for fasting in order to make it more meaningful for you, but also to keep you safe during that time. So to start with, there are a few different ways that you can fast along with us as we press in for more of God in Northwest Iowa. The first is kind of what you think of when you think of fasting, a complete fast. That's where you don't eat any food and you only drink water or fruit juices as needed during the time of fasting. Now that's pretty hardcore. It is possible to go 40 days or 21 days or however long you're fasting with just food or no food, but water and juices. But that's going to be pretty tough. So another option might be a selective fast. That's where you remove certain kinds of food from your diet. An example of this would be the Daniel fast, which is based on what Daniel did in Daniel 1. That's where you remove all meat and dairy, sweets and bread from your diet, and you eat just fruits, vegetables, some grains, and then you drink water and juice. You could also give up certain food items like sugar or coffee or any other comfort food types of things that you can sacrifice during the fast. Another option, instead of abstaining from certain kinds of foods, is to abstain during certain times of the day. So maybe you give up lunches. You don't eat lunch during the time of the fast, and instead you pray and worship during that time. Or maybe you don't eat from sun up to sundown, but you do eat a meal at night. So instead of fasting certain foods, you can fast at certain times and give those times to the Lord. But if you're not interested or you're unable to fast from food, another option would be what some people call a soul fast, where you give up certain activities or things you like to do for the sake of fasting during this time. So examples could be watching Netflix, staying up late, sleeping in late, using social media, really any activity that has the potential to draw your attention away from the Lord. So you can give those up and instead give those times to the Lord for prayer and worship. A couple tips for fasting. Number one, whatever you choose to do, the point is to draw close to God. And Jesus warns his disciples, don't fast to get acknowledgement from people. Because if that's what you are seeking, then you'll get it, but that's the only reward you'll get. Matthew 6, when you fast, do not look somber as the hypocrites do, for they disfigure their faces to show others they are fasting. Truly, I tell you, they have received their reward in full. So it's not that you need to keep it like an absolute secret, and if somebody finds out that you're fasting, then everything is ruined. But the point is, don't do it for the approval of those around you. Do it to draw closer to the heart of God. That's the real reward. Another good idea would be to grab somebody else to do the fast with you. Get them on board. Accountability and support is super helpful because fasting is hard. It's a discipline. And so the next tip is to expect it to be hard. Chances are the first day that you decide, all right, I'm going to join in this fast, I'm not going to eat any sweets, there's going to be donuts in the break room at work. You're going to see about 3 dozen cupcakes in the first week that you're fasting. That's just reality. When Jesus fasted, Satan tempted him, and so you can expect to be tempted too. And if you do fail, give yourself grace. It's not the end of the world. Pick yourself back up, start again. It's not about perfection, it's about the direction we're setting our hearts in. And know that breakthrough often comes after a fast. It's easy to get discouraged during a fast because it seems like nothing is happening or this seems pointless. But hang in there, persevere, and know that every fast done in faith, I believe, will reap a reward. And finally, and this seems obvious, but it's important to say, lean into the Lord. Pray, worship. If you're just giving something up, if you're just not eating certain foods, you're basically just putting yourself on a super strict, restrictive, miserable diet. And that's the only reward you'll get. But use that time to lean into the Lord, to seek his face, to go after his heart. That's what this is all about. We want to lean in for more. So if you have any other questions about this fast or fasting in general, feel free to comment them below. We'll try and find answers to that. But we are so excited about what God is doing here in Northwest Iowa, and we hope that you'll join us in pressing in for more.